Okay, so hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to take this opportunity to make a quick video. Literally just stepped out the shower, as you can tell from my post-shower hair. It's still pretty wet. And quickly say something in this video, something that I've actually been saying quite a lot so far already on my Instagram account, if you've been following. So when it comes to weight loss, all right, the number one thing that you have to do or be in is in a calorie deficit or caloric deficit. That's all that matters. You know, I've been saying this from day one. Okay, whether, you know, when it was just at the beginning of my weight loss journey. I remember the days when I used to just, you know, post stories on my, you know, Instagram and update you on the pretty much daily stuff that I did back then. You know, my daily routine, what I was doing, most of which involved intermittent fasting, and then doing a lot of cardio in between as well, right? And I still remember those days. The bottom line, the number one thing that I stressed on was that I was counting my calories and that I was making sure that I was always in a caloric deficit. All right, which, if you don't know by now, what that means is basically you are using up more calories than you consume from food or drinks or whatever. All right, calories can either come from solid food, the kind of food that you have to, you know, chew on and then swallow, or chew on before you swallow, or if you get your calories from sugary drinks like regular Coke or your Teh, or your, you know, your Starbucks fraps, whatever it is, with the whole load of cream on top. Those are calories in the form of beverages. So you can get those calories from either drinks or food. That's what it means. Basically, if you put in anything in your mouth and it goes through your digestive system, it's going to come into your body as a form of energy input. The way you measure that energy is by using the calorie measurement. Okay, that's calories is just a unit of measurement. All right, the same way you would measure length using centimeters or feet or inches. Okay, those are units of measurement. All right. Similarly with calories, it's a unit of measurement of energy or heat. In this particular case, it's heat. Okay, so when it comes to weight loss, the only thing you have to be concerned with is that, to be in a caloric deficit. Now, I've made quite a few other videos addressing, you know, how you go about that, what's the best approach. Okay, and honestly, yes, it's going to be different from one person to another. But bottom line, caloric deficit. When I was doing, I still am actually, but not as regularly. When I was doing 20 hours intermittent fasting, basically I'm fasting, I'm not eating, not taking in any calories for 20 hours of the day. Okay, there's 24 hours in a day, and I was not eating, consuming any calories in 20 hours of those 24 hours. So I would only have a 4-hour eating window, right? So even when I was doing that, I still do it now, but not as often. Calories in, calories out. Okay, I was losing weight then because I was still in a caloric deficit. Okay, that's it, bottom line. When I was on my keto diet, albeit a very short you know, period, I wasn't seriously on the keto diet very long, at least, you know, in the strictly being on a keto diet. Still, the reason for my weight loss was because of being in a caloric deficit. But then I sort of slowly got myself out of that diet by slowly adding back in the carbs to my diet. Right now, I'm not on keto, still caloric deficit. So again, the approaches to getting to be in a caloric deficit or calorie deficit is going to be different from one person to another. I've already made videos about that. I've already addressed this at length, pretty much. I've made like 30-40 minute videos, which I think not many of you have watched, which I understand it's probably boring for most of you. and you just want to, wait for that one, what's the magic, what's the one formula, magic formula that's easy for everyone, that got me from this to this to where I am now. Truth is, no magic formula. Most of it is willpower, sheer determination. I wish I could tell you that there was really an easy way. I really wish, if I had discovered that, don't you think I'd be like sharing it with everyone? Knowing that so many people struggle with weight loss and have weight issues, weight management issues. Don't you think I'd be sharing that by now? I've shared all my tips, all my secrets freely. I have no gain, at least no monetary gain, out of doing any of these videos, sharing with you my weight loss tips and my journey. No, zero. Not made a single cent out of doing any of these videos or these posts on either Instagram or my YouTube channel. Okay? So don't you think if there was a magical shortcut way that I would have done that by now and made money? Who doesn't want to make money, right? So the truth is that most of us kind of know already what it takes to lose weight, right? To be fit, to change your outlook on your health and your lifestyle. Okay? We all know what it takes, but we're just not willing to do the hard work to get there. That's all it is. You are inspired by looking at other people's weight loss, and I personally, I'm so grateful that people have found my weight loss journey inspiring. Really, thank you so much. Really means a lot to me to know that I have inspired other people to do the same. It really does. Okay? But again, inspiration can only get you so much. Can only get you like a little bit further. At least you have like a place to start from. But then it will come down to your own willpower, your determination. What is it that you want? Okay, and I'm going to be honest here. If you don't start making the changes necessary, if you don't start thinking about this as changing permanently, your outlook and your approach to being healthy and living a good life, okay, and having good lifestyle habits, then nobody really can help you. There can be like a million inspirational stories out there, people like me, to help inspire you. But if it doesn't come from within, internally, intrinsically, it's only going to get you a little bit ahead. That's it. And when you run out of that inspiration, that's it. That's done. Your journey is done. So it has to come from you. It's not going to be easy. No one in the history ever of fitness, weight loss, okay, has ever said that it's going to be easy. No. I said it before. Being in a caloric deficit is difficult because it goes against our biological instincts to survive. Humans have been around for thousands of years. And as we've evolved throughout those thousands of years from our ancestors, we've all developed the instinct to keep on surviving. Otherwise, if we were not given those instincts to survive, those very primal instincts to survive that all animals have, all animals, not just us, all the species of animals have within the food chain, we would cease to continue. Our species would cease to continue. Okay? And in order to survive, you need to make sure that you are not deprived of nutrition. In other words, calories that come from the food that give you nutrition. That is why being in a caloric deficit is hard. Okay, and I'll quickly just touch on the kind of science behind it, why it's so hard. When you are in a caloric deficit, what happens is you're putting your body under a lot of stress. You're under duress, basically. And what happens when you are stressed? There are hormones in your body to tell you, okay, hey, you're stressed out now. Okay, and those hormones are the ones that will determine how much fat it wants to just glom onto okay? Because again, the body here is all about survival. So think about it, you know, like cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone which your body produces when you are under a lot of stress, when you are under duress. And it gets in the way of losing weight because it is telling your body to hold on to the fat, all right? To get you into starvation mode because it thinks that the body is starving and it's not getting enough food. That's just a natural consequence out of thousands and thousands of years of biological evolution in order to maintain the perseverance of the species. That's not me saying it, that's biology, that's science, okay? So when you are stressed, of course, you will encounter a lot of difficulties, a lot of setbacks in losing the weight because your body will now have, you know, kind of switch to starvation mode. In other words, your metabolism will be so low, okay? Your body doesn't want to use up too much energy, all right? So it drives your metabolism down. It basically hurts your metabolism. And so you're not going to burn as many calories as you would be when your metabolism was higher. So that's one way of seeing how stress can lead to, you know, the difficulties, the challenges in consistency in weight loss. So how do you go about it? Well, make sure that you can manage. You go around that problem by managing the things that end up making you stressful. Like, for instance, not having enough sleep will stress you out, okay? Will contribute to having more cortisol in your body, all right? Being too much in a caloric deficit, meaning your calorie deficit, your daily calorie deficit is just too much, too high to sustain, also will contribute to cortisol, the higher production of cortisol in your body. So these are the things you have to be aware of, for sure, when it comes to being in a caloric deficit. I didn't say these variants, okay? Basically, I'm not even, I shouldn't have used those air quotes. They're actually like literally that's what it is, right? These variants when it comes to weight loss should always be taken note of, right? Should always be acknowledged because that's what's gonna determine the difference between your progress and another person's progress. Bottom line is the only reason that if you were progressing in terms of your weight loss or not, okay, or you ended up putting back on the weight, it all would have had to do with calories going in and calories going out. That is just the science of it. That is the bottom line. And frankly, I'm just alarmed at the amount of misinformation and, more importantly, misleading and even lies, okay, misleading lies that are being put out there by certain people. I'm not talking about your, regular like fitness influencers. These are people who are medical doctors who are actually qualified to talk about these things, that have scientific biological training, right? I'm a nobody, and yet I know these things, and people tend to want to believe the qualified people more than they actually see the more obvious truth, which is this, all right? Losing weight is not easy. Ergo, being in a calorie deficit is not easy. No one ever said it was going to be. But make sure that you are armed with the proper knowledge, that you start off on the right, foundation, that you begin the right way. And that will then ensure your long-term success. Okay, so that's it. That's all from me for now. See you in another video.